And
we should do
action.
our little... Well, I feel bamboozled. Just spill on yourself?
Yeah. Can I like get it together?
We just put a piece of candy in.
I do like a little ketchup.
A little ketchup and mustard. Woof. Slide to the left.
Cheers.
Cheers.
First in-person BRBT YouTube video coming at you
What do you guys
from
think?
Idaho.
It's so weird.
I know.
Gosh, you guys, this is so fun. This will be the July Patreon.
Yeah.
It's like crazy being like next to you and getting to film this like in person is just so fun. If you're new here, welcome to the Patreon. It's your first video.
Happy to have you. And we
Of course.
are Brady and Rosie, and this is Brady Rosie Book Talk. We are happy to have you, and what you get is you get to join our Google Meets that meets once a month to chat about the book. It's just a really great community of people, and seeing familiar faces week after week is so much fun. And please don't be nervous to join.
Yeah, it's very chill.
It can be very intimidating to like literally log onto a Google Meets where you don't know anybody at first. I promise you, we're welcoming. Like you can talk if you want, you don't have to. You can keep your camera off. Like it's totally up to you. And you also get one long form video piece of content a month, which is where we sit down and we film together and we chat all things books. And today we saw on YouTube there's like a 2024 halfway through the year book tag going around. So we're just gonna talk about books we loved so far this year, books we haven't loved.
Yeah. New here, Brady and I have never met before. So this is the first time like we're getting to like spend time together. She got to Boise yesterday, which was so fun.
So fun.
It's like surreal because we've just been chatting for like a year and a half now.
So
it
long.
feels like so long.
Yeah.
And so it's like fun to like actually be able to be together in person.
Our mutuals on TikTok, and then friendship just started like DMing on Instagram, and we were saying on live earlier today that it got hard to talk to each other because we were always DMing on Instagram, moved to texting, voice memos. Now we literally run this book club together, and it was just time that we met.
Yeah.
And it just worked out. Like timeline worked.
Yeah.
And like I don't even think it like obviously it's surreal now that I'm sitting here, but like it didn't hit me until I was standing in the airport waiting at baggage claim, and like I literally was like, okay, I have my bags, and you're like, I'm coming around, and I was like, oh my god, like she's like I'm literally gonna see her.
I know, it was like having you in my car, like driving you home. I'm like, hey.
No, and we just like instantly connected. I mean, we talk all the time anyway,
Yeah.
but like you and Ryan are amazing, and the
thanks.
house is amazing. I said when I walked in, I was like, it's like being on the set of your favorite TV show. Like you walk in and you're like, oh my god, like there's the wall you painted. There's like
there's
you
all
did
the
that
things.
wall. Yeah, there's Dodger.
It is like, it's nice because I feel like you hear of like horror stories with like meeting people from online or something, and they're like nothing like they've portrayed themselves to be, and you're like, well, I feel bamboozled. No fear of that, considering that we talk on such a personal level already. It's really special. It's so fun.
I know, I love it.
I love you.
Thumbnail.
Screenshot. Yeah, we're just hanging in Boise this weekend. Nothing like crazy. We wanted to obviously film like a video for you guys, at least one, if we could do more. Like fabulous. Just want to like obviously enjoy time together and show Brady around Boise. It's her first time in Idaho.
Yep. Look at a map one day, okay? Looking at maps is so much fun. I realized that Delaware is just a smaller version of Idaho. They're literally shaped the exact same.
Obviously, like Delaware and Idaho are very different places, so
Yeah.
it's like fun to always like visit new places, and like eventually I'll make my way out to Delaware too.
Yes.
I feel like this is also just gonna like kickstart us to like actually like planning things.
For
of, like,
sure.
getting together. Like we've talked about Nantucket, we've talked about Era's tour, we've talked about so many things that we could like do, and now that like it's like we know each other, I'm like, yeah, we could probably just plan things a lot easier now.
Right.
Should we get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
We have our phones, so like we're not
texting.
Like, we're just, you know, all the information is on here. We're gonna go through the tags all in relation to books that we've read so far in the first half of the year.
If you want to make this book tag, like on TikTok and tag us or whatever, we love when you guys tag us in videos. It's really the best. Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah.
Your top favorite book of the year?
Yeah, top book of the year so far. I actually was like kind of looking through my Goodreads and I was like, this is kind of hard. And then I saw this book and I was like, oh duh, is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna.
Oh yeah, that's an
can't-
easy.
yeah.
Nothing. I don't think anything will ever.
I don't think that anything's gonna top that this year because I've read incredible books that are not The Great Alone.
Yeah.
But like The Great Alone is so good. And I think it just like holds such a special place in my heart now that I can't believe it took me so long to read that book.
It's intimidating. It's a big book. Like you look at it and you're like, that's like a big fat book.
Yeah, and like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read about Alaska.
Right.
Which I'm like again, not like no shade to Alaska. Alaska, you're beautiful. But
Two
I just
girls
was like,
who live in the most random states.
yeah, we're like, oh no, it was more like would I be interested in the content? I just was like didn't know, and like again, it's classified as historical fiction,
and it's not strong historical fiction. Like,
not
it really
at all.
is.
It's so approachable if like you have not read that genre. What was your favorite book of the year?
My favorite book of the year was a Rosie recommendation, and that is The Grace Year. This book, just like I can't stop thinking about it. I need more. I say it all the time.
So
and
good.
I want more from it. I need a series. Like I I loved it. I loved every second of it. I flew through it. And I like almost want to reread it because I feel like I read it too fast because it was so good.
Because it's a really good book. Like if you have not picked it up, you should. Is it still on KU?
Oh yeah, it is.
Okay.
Still on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah.
Or you can get the paperback for $9.
Yeah, $10. Like, and like,
deal.
It's not a new book, so you probably could find it on like a Pango or like at a used bookstore or anything like that.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you like that book.
Yeah.
Like it's always fun when you recommend a book and like the person doesn't just like it, like they love it, like just as much as you do. It's like, okay, I feel good about that.
Yep, so good. And then our favorite series that we read so far in 2024.
Okay, this is like so easy for me. I'm not finished with the series. There's 6 books, so I still need to do 2 more, but it's the Stillhouse Lake series.
Yeah.
On Kindle Unlimited, I've talked literally everyone's ear off about it 500 times. But it's about like a family of a serial killer, which again, I just like love that premise so much. But it's like about like really like them living past like when the husband is found out.
Right.
So it's like so much more layered.
It's
than
not
just
about like him being a murderer. It's like family dynamics and like how things change.
And how it affects their life, like how they can't live certain places because people find out about them and like blame them. It's like so fascinating, and then it's like so layered with like other crimes that happen throughout it. It's so good, and I've only read up to book 4, but I need to hop back in, but now I'm like out of it.
Yes, that's like how we are with like Fourth Wing. That's how I feel.
No, literally. If you didn't see, Ryan did start Iron Flame. Yeah. He didn't say anything to me. He just got up and grabbed it and looked at me and was like, give me a little smirk, and I was like, are you about to start reading Iron Flame?
It's happening.
Yeah, like that's hard. I feel like I don't know when I'll get into that book either.
I know, and now the 3rd one's been announced, Onyx Storm. Like they announced. Did you see the book cover for it?
No.
It's beautiful. Here, it's like
show.
gorgeous on Amazon. I'll put a screenshot on. It's really pretty. It has like painted edges and like gold. Yeah, it's pretty.
They do have a good thing going there.
It is pretty.
What was I even talking about?
Favorite series.
Oh, yeah, Stillhouse Lake series. It's on Kindle Unlimited. You should read it. I'll get back into it soon.
Yes. Mine is the Wayward Pines trilogy.
Oh, easy.
Easy, like done deal.
So good.
Many people are reading it and are like, oh my god, like this is so good, and I'm like, just keep like it gets better.
Yeah, you're like, it's actually not gonna get bad at all.
No, that's the best thing about it. Like I was scared. I was like, okay, I don't know if it, like this first book was really freaking good. Then I'm like, the second book was really good.
Yeah.
Like no, the 3rd book was.
You're
just
like, please
good.
don't disappoint me.
Yeah, so.
And even the ending, I know that people like are disappointed sometimes because it is just like a sentence.
Yeah.
But I actually think it's like perfect.
It put me into a major reading slump. Like nothing sounded good after reading that. Like people are asking me the same thing. They're like, I read Wayward Pines. Like, what do I do now? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're
let
like,
me know.
Let me
figure
know
it out because I don't know.
If you know, you let me know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So the area we camped in, is like what is described.
Favorite audiobook.
Oh, okay. I have an honorable mention for this one because I feel like I can't not include it, but my favorite audiobook this year is I'm Glad My Mom Died. I loved it so much. I really liked, well, again, I'm like, even for audiobook, I love short chapters.
Yes.
It would be like chapter 80.
Yes.
But like, it would be like, this chapter's 3 minutes long. And I was like, thank you, because sometimes, again, like, I can't commit because I want to listen to a chapter in full.
Right.
And like, my honorable mention is Down the Drain by Julia Fox. But like, it's like, I think that her whole book is like 8 or 9 chapters. It's like, so like,
longer.
Long
it's like
chapters.
an hour and like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Each.
And I'd be like, fuck, I need to make sure like I'm on a drive, like to a shoot, so I can listen to the whole like chapter in full.
And you have to like get to like a point where you can stop in the story, because you're like, I don't want to stop her mid-sentence or like mid-paragraph. Or, like you don't know where you're at because you don't have the book.
Yes.
So you're like, okay, like this is I think I'm gonna remember this. Then when you start up again, I always go like back 15 seconds.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, okay, now
that's how
got it. I remember where we're at.
Yeah, and those are both Brady Rex. Like I
so good.
Talk a lot about like how I'm not like very into like nonfiction books. Like I just have a hard time with it. But I really wanted to like challenge myself last month to like dive a little bit deeper into memoirs, because I feel like a lot of the times like they do read like a fiction book.
They're so good. Like,
and
there's
so
a reason so many of them are so popular and like people are asking for them. And it's even better when you get to hear someone like narrate their own story, like Matthew McConaughey's book.
Yes.
Like, his voice is so iconic. Like listening to him read you a book, like please.
Well, even okay, so you know like the audio that's like, you just gotta keep living, man.
Yeah.
It's literally from the book.
Oh really?
Yeah, because I was listening. Like I was listening to the book and I was like,
wait a minute.
Wait, I know you. I love when you find like TikTok audios in the actual original.
It's so satisfying.
Like,
and like without knowing it, you're like, wait a second.
Hey, what are yours? Like your favorite audiobooks?
So my also honorable mention is Down the Drain.
Yeah.
And my favorite audiobook so far has been Beyond the Wand. By Tom Felton. Any Harry Potter fans out there, it's just so good. And there's so many little Harry Potter like little things he throws in, and so many things that happen like behind the scenes on set of like, you know, the mean characters are actually like the way that they like break character and are like the nicest people in real life, and it's so good and just amazing. And that Down the Drain is my honorable mention because
so good.
A new release book that you haven't yet read yet, but you want to. I feel like we probably have the same one.
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Well, maybe. This is literally released as of yesterday. Is Play Along.
Oh, okay.
By Liz Tomford.
Yeah.
Play Along is whose story? I want to say Oscar, and I know that
it's
is not
something
right.
with an I. I thought.
Is it Isaac? No. Oh no. Ewan?
Hold, please.
Isaiah. Yes. I was having a stroke, I think. Because Rio's the next story.
Rio's next.
Okay.
Finally, I'm sure that will finish it out. Like a 5-book series.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
And then move on to the next one.
The consistency with the covers.
So
Love
good.
It. Thank you.
Them, like, I'm not like a book collector at all. Like, I do keep mostly everything on my Kindle, but I really want these ones.
Yes.
Especially because I've loved the series so much. But that one, I literally was like, I should download it and like start reading it today. But I'm like, I don't need to read it like immediately because like it's gonna be over. Yeah. And then I'm gonna have to wait like another year.
So long. Yeah. I feel like this one came out really quick though. I remember reading when it was gonna come out. Rewind It Back is the 5th book. And that is coming out. Oh, only April.
Oh.
So like we're already like 8-10 months.
She's on it. Liz is she's in the writer's room. She's going.
No, that's a great pick.
Yeah, I'm so excited to read that one. I just feel like I need it to like scratch the itch that like Caught Up left me with.
So good. Mine is Swan Song. I haven't read it yet. Want to read it. Will read it. I just don't know when. Next up we have least favorite books of the year. Books.
I think I have 3 books that I would like.
Wish you got your time back.
Yeah. First Light Wins. Like that book was just stupid. And I know like the thing is like a lot of people love that book. Like even one of my friends was like, you have to read First Light Wins. And I was like, I hate to break it. I actually didn't respond because I was like, I hate when like someone loves a book. Yeah, I'm like when someone loves a book and you're like, that was one of the worst books I've read. It's like it's just not. And like I just would rather actually not say anything.
Right.
It had such potential, but I just honestly found it really confusing and like bleh.
Yeah.
And then I read Bye Baby. Woof. Like literally so, in my opinion, horrible. Like about 2 losers. Like I said, loser on loser crime is how I described it. Like 2 girls that I was like I didn't like anything about either of them. I gave it a 1 star, I think 1.5 maybe.
Yeah.
And then normal people. I just again like I should have known better because like miscommunication is like one of my least favorite things to read about. Like I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I know that people like say that it's like so relatable, but like I just found it like so frustrating. And the book is only like 280 pages. Yeah. And I like hated every moment of it. Do you think I'm gonna watch the series because people say the series is better than the book? So I'm like, I will actually go ahead and do that. I'll like watch it while I work because I want to give it a chance. And if the series is better than the book, I will be happy with that.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, my 2 least favorite are Unmissing by Nina Kent.
Was this a KU?
Horrible, yes. It was just stupid. Like,
what's even like the slight premise of this one? Because I've never heard of it.
I literally don't remember. It was so fucking stupid. I literally was like,
was like the premise of why she was gone was stupid?
Yes, like, and her like revenge that she's trying to, it's like both of them like trying to cross each other. Y'all are dumb.
No.
This is dumb. I can't. And then Keep It in the Family by John Mars. I know this has like a cult favorite following. Like,
well, John Mars also writes The One, right?
He writes a lot of books.
And people love that book too. I want to read that one.
It's just like not good. We'll talk about future books. So your most anticipated release that hasn't been released yet for like the end of the year.
I put on here Beyond the Sea. Or was it Somewhere Beyond the Sea. Yeah. I'm so excited for that because again, like I want that feeling again that I had when I read The House in the Cerulean Sea. Like a happy, cozy, whimsical read.
And I feel like it comes out at the perfect time because
September?
It's like right in September. So we're like tiptoeing into fall.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like sit on the couch, windows open, fall breeze, fall candle on like with your blanket.
So nice. Yeah. That's the one that I think that I'm looking forward to at this point because I feel like a lot of the books that I was excited about have already come out.
Oh yeah, like summer releases were like bam, bam, bam,
literally
bam. And I'm like
non-stop. Like I was like, I can't even keep up.
I already had a TBR list. Now I have all of these on my TBR list. And I'm like, I literally like I'm gonna have to read you all next summer. And then there's just gonna be more and more and more.
Yeah. What about you?
The Best Lies by David Ellis.
Oh,
same guy who wrote Look Closer. He's coming out with the 2nd book.
When does that one come out?
Soon, I'm pretty sure.
Is it July new release? You've only read Look Closer by David Ellis.
I think he only has 2 books.
Oh, he's like that was his debut.
Yeah,
wow, that's a really good book.
Comes out on July 23rd. Oh no, he has a ton of other books. Not much.
We're like debut novel, okay.
Oh my god.
Go off, King. I'm like he's like old.
He's like no.
He's like Miss, I've been writing books for years.
What is that called? Like we talked about this before. Like a musical artist.
Discography.
What is that for a
like
author?
Have we looked it up? Like book equivalent to discography?
Have your apps organized in color order?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Bibliography. Or how would you say such a word?
Are you trying to hit on me?
I turned on.
That was hot.
Say it again, Google.
It's like if Paris Hilton did.
This is so breathy. It sounds like Oprah. David Ellis's Oprah. It also sounds naughty. It sounds really naughty. Oh my god. Well, good to know. Oprah. I'm never gonna forget that. Where were we?
Oh, favorite new to you author, or like maybe a debut author.
Okay, I put on here Nikki Ehrlich with The Measure.
Oh my god, yeah.
Just because I'd never heard of her prior to seeing The Measure.
Yeah, and she slayed on
Yeah,
that. I mean, holy shit, that was a really well done book.
Yeah, I love her writing in general. I thought was really good. So I'm like, that was her debut novel, right?
Yeah.
So she only has one in her Oprah. It's the plural of Oprah.
Oprahs.
I don't think that she has any other books though.
No, I don't think so.
Obviously, she's new to everyone, I guess. But I really liked her books. I would definitely like pick up the next book she reads.
100%.
What about you?
Agree. Devney Perry.
Oh yeah, I mean you went on a Devney Perry kick.
Yeah, I read Crossroads, so good, and then I downloaded Coach, which is like my favorite thing about her is that she writes about mature characters.
Yeah.
So like you're not reading about 16-year-olds falling in love, like late 20s, early 30s characters, which being in that realm, it's like, oh my gosh, I can read about people in the same area of life that I am in.
Yeah.
And then I read Coach by her, and that's about an ex-NFL player, so I think he's like 39 in the book. And I'm like, he's a single dad.
I love that trope. I did not know I liked that trope.
Especially like a sports romance with a single dad, please. Like he brings
taking
like
their kid to practice.
Literally, the games
on
so
the sidelines.
Yep, on this is so good. God. So that one was good too. I gave that one a 3. I gave Crossroads like a solid good 4.
Yeah.
The second one comes out soon. But
I need to read her stuff.
Yeah, if you like mature characters, so refreshing. I'm tired of reading about like immature people.
I will never forget when I read about like a 17-year-old doing anal.
God, there's context for that.
It's a book by Penelope Douglas, that perverted woman.
Said it so casually. Oh, I'll never forget about this. I mean, I would never forget that either.
Books Punk 57 if you're curious.
The crazy thing is like books like those are just like at Target.
No,
and I'm like,
literally,
like some little 17-year-old might be like, oh, like I saw this book on BookTok, I'm gonna grab it, and they're like,
content is so insane.
I mean, Target is like locking up deodorant. I'm like, you should lock up, like, treat it, put it behind a shelf, be like, I need to see your ID before you buy this book.
You need to be of drinking age to be able to purchase these books.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay, a book that made you cry / emotional.
Okay,
I know this one for you.
Yeah, I also have 2.
Oh, good.
Okay, so
I don't want to see you cry, but
you're like, yeah, cry more.
God.
But I have The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros, and a lot of you read this book after I read it too, and also felt the same rage and sadness. Brady knows how it ends, because I told her, but I won't spoil it for anyone that wants to read.
Yeah.
But it's very sad. But then the other book that I put on here is Winter Garden.
Oh, yes.
That book, like, I think I read it in January. So emotional, so good.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, like literally, I will never forget like being all teary in bed, because it was just, it's such a good book. And like
all of her books, like they leave me like a sobbing, like bubbling mess. I'm like snot coming out of my nose, like The Great Alone. I was like, oh my, I'm like sitting on the couch with like tears streaming down my face. Gavin's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no.
And I'm like, I need to like call someone.
No,
like be like, I love you.
Like, oh my god, so her books are just so
good. Yeah, what about you? No tears yet.
No tears yet. And if usually like if I cry, it's probably maybe like a memoir, like a really happy ending memoir or something like that. But a book that made me like emotional was The Wishing Game. Oh. Because it's like whimsical, magical kind of vibes, but made for adults.
Yeah, the characters in that book are so sweet too. Like I love that book too. Again, honestly, that gave me a similar vibe to like a TJ Klune book.
100%.
Yeah, like I feel like those, like if you like that like fantasy elements.
Yeah, just like magic integrated into the real world.
Yep.
It's like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
For like literally, I mean, Harry Potter is for adults, but like Harry Potter made for like specifically adults.
Yep. I think the next one we have on here, like a book that made you happy. This is like a most recent read for me, and it's The Paradise Problem.
I also chose that.
Oh, nice.
It's just a good, like, it's fun. It's like a good romance. It made you laugh. Typically a huge fan of Christina Lauren books. And
romance is hard for you.
Yeah. Just because of like the cringy aspect, it's the overly descriptive writing that I can't get behind. The Elsie Silver Chestnut Spring series, like the way she describes this man literally walking from the couch to the refrigerator in like a whole page. I'm like, he strode with his chunky, muscular thighs and his stretched out Wrangler jeans. And I'm like, he took 2 steps.
Yeah,
Stop it.
I don't need to envision it.
Paradise Problem, just good, like happy vibes.
Yeah. I didn't know much about it before, like, I mean, I don't generally read a lot about books prior to picking them up.
Yeah.
But the whole book is like these people that have like a fake marriage, and they end up needing to then like be able to show their marriage to like a family for a wedding, and so then they have to get back together, and they're like literally like living apart. They're not like, there's no bad blood, they just are the marriage is like a fraud.
Yeah.
And then they have to like fly to an island in Singapore and like live with their family for like 10 days or something and like put on this show for them. But also like the people like in the book, I love reading about rich people.
And the scenery is great. Like if you need a good summer read, it's a great one. They're on a private island. It's also summer, so you're like envisioning like tropical vibes and like the sand and the like the decor and all that stuff. And the witty banter.
It's funny.
The female main character is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I laughed so many times. There's like one specific chapter that I laughed like 4 times in a row. And I was like, this book is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like so
she's
good.
just like, like she just is not cringy funny too.
Yeah.
Like I hate when authors try to write like jokes and I'm like, you're not funny.
No.
Like this is like, no one would talk like this. No, it was a really good book. That
So
definitely,
funny.
that made me smile.
It was really, really good. And the tension was really good. And the spicy scenes, like chapter 25, I think it was. I was sitting on the beach and I was already hot because it was like...
You're like, but I'm sweating.
I was flushed. I was like, holy shit. Like, this is good spice.
And like, also like the characters I think were like 25.
Yeah.
But like, so they weren't like overly mature, but they were also like, felt like they were written in a mature fashion. I don't know, it just made like sense for the characters.
Yeah, it was, a really well done one. Okay, this one is the most beautiful book that you've bought or read this year. And we're just talking book covers here, like just pretty book covers.
I have like 3 on here.
Ooh, I love that.
Okay, I want to say Middle of the Night because that book cover is just so good. I love
All
like the
of
lime green, like.
Yeah. And
also like now that I'm into the book, I'm like, oh, this like is so perfect. Like it's like that like older home kind of vibe. Like it's like the suburb vibe. I also put like 2 books that kind of fall under like the same kind of artistic vibe because I love this look of a book. As Funny Story. I love Emily Henry's books.
Love it.
And then also Summer Romance by Annabelle Monahan.
Love.
Like I just love that like cartoon. Bright colors. Very like bold lettering, very simple, and I just
they look good on your
good.
bookshelf.
Yeah.
They're easy to like decorate with. Like you could have it as a coffee table book.
Yeah,
and like because they're pretty, they're plain.
I love when they're also just 2 words. Funny story
and no real human beings on them. Ellen,
we gotta talk about the real humans.
Like when I see your toenails on my book cover, I'm like,
like who is that?
Please put them away.
It's Ellen on all of the covers. She's the model.
I mean, they're not bad feet, but I don't want to look at your feet. I'm sorry. Like, I don't.
Fair enough. Okay, what about you? What are your most beautiful books?
I only chose one. I chose The Berry Pickers. It has like blueberries all over it. It's
so
just
beautiful.
so pretty, and I've never received more, like when I posted on my story that I was reading it, so many people were like, that is a gorgeous book.
They loved it just
and
as much.
And I was like, no, it really is. What books do you want to read by the end of the year?
Oh, perfect.
Is this like a...
Like what's on your TBR that you're like, I will be reading that by the end of the year, I think.
Okay.
I put The Women on here. It's The Women is literally sitting right there. I really want to read this book. I feel like, again, like it's just one of those things where like I'm out of my Kristen Hanna groove and I gotta get back in.
Yeah.
And it's because I was like at the beginning of the year, like that was kind of the only books that were like doing it for me.
Yeah,
so
that book is like has been like the #1 New York Times bestseller since it came out.
Yeah,
like it has not left the top 10 like slot since it came out.
Yeah, my mom read it and loved it like enough that she like she left it in the kitchen. So like when she was working, if she had like a second when she's making the kids like lunch, she would like read like a page and then like go like.
Oh, itchy boy.
Oh yeah, you look so bizarre. Itching like that. You're giving like orangutan. But again, swan song. We're a broken record. Yeah. I will be reading it hopefully by the end of the year. Come on. He's like, yes, please. Come on.
Hi, handsome boy.
Come on.
Oh, hello.
Oh, pushing his booty into you.
I freaking love him.
He's Dodge. Let's not eat our ass right there.
Okay, first up for me, we have The Wedding People. The cover,
so good,
so cool. And it has really good. I don't think it's out yet. It might like have just came out.
Okay,
but for not being out yet, it has really good ARC ratings. Like whoever has received ARCs, it has like a 4.3. And then also Kill for Me, Kill for You. I've heard really good things about it. Have you read that one?
No.
I've heard really good things about it.
That's one like she's kind of like peering through a window.
It's like a curtain.
Or a curtain?
Yeah. Also, the one you're probably thinking of to listen to is Listen for the Lie.
Yes, okay.
They're very similar covers and they were both published in like the same month.
That's I'm like and they Listen for the Lie, Kill for Me, Kill for You. Like,
right.
They're
it's
kind of like
thriller, same genre. Yeah, they
red
were both
covers.
Yep. I think they were both Book of the Month picks.
Oh, that's
one
also
month.
really confusing.
And I was like, I don't know the difference.
Yeah,
like I don't even think I
book.
chose either one. Are you eating your butthole? Are you itchy tail?
Yeah, his tail must be itchy.
Itchy tail?
And his like face gets all scrunched up. He's like, I'm gonna get that itch. Okay, so we'll do a little Goodreads goal update where we're at with our reading goals.
Yeah. What's your goal for the year?
75.
You're gonna
I could have aimed higher.
Yeah, you're gonna pass that for sure.
I don't like not meeting goals, so I think I just gave myself a very attainable goal because last year I read 80 maybe 2 books, but I had wanted to read 60 or something.
Right.
And then I have slower months. Like,
right.
you know, where I'm like, well, I'm not, like, I've only read 2 books.
And then you have to like put in double the work to like, and I don't want to just read for the sake of reading. Like you want to read books that you actually want to read.
But then I remember like in November when, like in October when football's on and we watch football for literally a whole work day.
Right.
I read for most of it. So like, I do read more different times of year.
Yeah.
But I'm at 55 books out of 75.
Oh, you're 100%. I mean, we're only a little over halfway.
Yeah. I think I'm going to try to aim for like 100 next year.
You should.
Yeah. I'm like, I think it's a good like goal. I mean, I can't like not like novellas.
Right.
So
oh my gosh, yeah. You could like if you wanted to meet your goal at the end of the year, you're like getting close. You're like, oh shit, I'll read 3 or 4 little books and audiobooks too. Now that we're like so into audiobooks. Yeah. Those really help the goals. Like,
that's kind of the only way I'm finishing books these days, honestly.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, it's summer, like you're on the go so much, like working in the car, like whatever you're doing, it's like audiobook, put on, and then you're reading at the same time.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
It's the best. What about you? Where are you at?
My goal for the year is 100. I think last year my goal was, it started at 52 because I was like, oh, 1 book a week. Yeah. That's like a good goal. I think I passed that super early and then I moved it, like I upped it to 75 and I ended reading 91. Mm-hmm. This year 100 and I'm currently at 62.
Oh, which you'll get there, I'm sure.
According to this, I'm 10 books ahead of schedule.
Really? I think that you'll definitely hit it. Unless like literally you go through a phase of not reading for like 3 weeks.
Right, which hopefully not. I mean, this month will definitely be slow, but like on the plane while I was doing like linking stuff, like I had my audiobook playing and it's just hard like focusing because I'm like, wait, what was that? And she'll be like talking about something else. I'm like, let me go back a few seconds. And I'm like, I'm using up my Spotify time. So that's our little book tag. Like I said, we'll put the questions in the comments for you guys or down in the caption below. Also, both of our Goodreads will be linked there if you want to go. If you don't follow us already, you can go on over there and keep up with what we're reading.
That was fun though. I feel like it's always fun to like go back through like what you've read because I feel like you kind of forget.
Yeah, because and like when people are like, oh, you know, the same questions. What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? And these were questions like books that made you cry, books that made you happy, like it made you think a little bit more.
As always, if you have any other like ideas for us to do for Patreon videos, let us know. Let us know also if you liked us doing this in person. I think it was fun. It was easier to chat. It was like easier to chat in person.
Oh my
for
god,
sure.
yeah,
like,
we don't have to worry about like a mic delay of
Bye guys. See you later.